Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of NXTilosos, the sexiest NXT review show out here on the internet. Of course, my name is Mikey. I am El Jefe of BC WrestlePod. I run the ones and twos, and I try to corral all my co-hosts. And joining me this evening, of course, is the man with the plan. Our feet on the ground when it comes to attending NXT in person from time to time. I would like everyone to give a warm welcome to the Pleat Father himself. The Kilt Man is in the house tonight.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. It has been such a long time since I have been here for you, or with you, I should say, especially considering I was by myself all last week and I look like myself. Yeah. So anyway, we have things to discuss, things to be upset about, and things to like not be happy about, but definitely
they're headed in the right direction. Yeah.
Potentially. I'm gonna go with potentially because I honestly don't know.
I will admit the slides for tonight are kind of brief because I was just like, there was a lot of talking heads tonight, and so we're just gonna stick to the ones that
very yappy.
It's very promo heavy. We're gonna get into some of that as we go along. But before we do, though, if you are new here to BC WrestlePod, or if you've been rocking with us for a while now, y'all know the drill. YouTube, Twitch, and Kick is where you can see us go live, so you can follow us on one of those three sites. And if you're looking for our edited reviews that are a little bit shorter, which go up the day after our lives do, then YouTube might be the place for you. But we don't judge. We want you to go to all the places and pick one that works best for you.
I
But
mean, I
if
might judge
I
a little
mean,
bit, just a little
you
bit.
might, you might.
I'm a little
I
judgy bastard. What do I say?
I am the grand poobah, so I have to save face because it would be a PR nightmare.
You have to say
For
face.
real. No, but if you are looking for something more self-contained and you want to interact with the community, but you don't have the time or have the mental bandwidth to, watch these lives, then that is okay. You can find us on your favorite social media site at BC WrestlePod, where the report cards, the previews, the prediction stuff, the clips, you can see all the fun stuff happen over there on the socials. We also have some merchandise available.
Merchandise.
Merchandise, which you
I
can
am
find at our shop, bcwrestlepodshop.fourthwall.com. I will put a link to all the good stuff here in a moment. But we have merch for all of our weekly shows from AEW to NXT, CMLL, TNA. And coming to you very, very soon is our international brands, which I'm going to start rolling out very soon this weekend. But we have t-shirts, we have hoodies, tank tops, we have embroidered shirts, embroidered caps, which are really cool. So you should probably check those out. It's a lot of fun. Last but certainly not least, guys, we pay for a lot of streaming services out here to review and watch all this wrestling.
I
So if
literally
you
just canceled Peacock so that way I could save a little money until Ted Lasso comes out.
for reals, well, we'll talk about it because you might need to get Peacock here in 2 weeks for something. We'll talk about it in a little bit. But Coffee Bot will be popping up in the chat ever so often, so please feel free to do so. Once again, I know this is a lot, but I'm dropping all the links right now. So that is all the stuff where you can find us. It is fantastic. And I will do it once again as we get closer to the end. But without further ado, let's get into it because we have an NXT to talk about, y'all. So let's get into it. So we're gonna start off with what kicked off the show, at least in my notes and on my slides here. We're gonna start things off with Kalani Jordan versus Lola Vice. Of course, these two have been kind of going back and forth and going at it with each other over the last month or so. And I believe this is the first time on NXT Air, at least in the ring wise, that we get a new look at our new one half of the AAA mixed tag team champions, because Lola Vice is new mixed tag team champion with Mr. Iguana in Mexico. Of course,
Or
Lola Vice.
Iggy, as Booker T calls him. I call him Iggy. Love that guy.
Freaking Booker T, man, I swear.
How did he get voted the worst? I'm sidetracking us for a moment. He got voted the worst commentary for wrestling. I'm like, how? He's great. He's magnanimous. He's funny. He's interactive. I mean, if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't get the when Stephanie Vaquer does the devil's kiss.
Horny on main, I swear to God.
Yes. And his wife loves it too.
It's fantastic. But Lola and Mr. Iguana beat Ethan Page and La Hierdra because, Chelsea Green couldn't compete because she has broken, hurt, bruised, whatever you want to call it, foot. And so
it looks like she has a complex, from what the images I'm seeing, it looks like a complex sprain because I had the same thing. And it bruised on the inside of my foot as well. Her feet finder probably is going down a little bit, just for now, but it's still
very true. But once again, excited. Lola Vice is our new half of the AAA tag champs, and she's taking on Kalani Jordan. This was a really, really fun match, in my personal opinion. I think this is definitely, we finally got the match. Lola still has her hand taped up after, the last couple of weeks. And dare I say, Kalani took advantage of that. And I'm not going to lie, Kilt, I was pleasantly surprised to see Kalani tap out Lola here by pulling on the injured hand. I was like, ooh, Kalani Jordan is continuing that slower trajectory down to being a little more heelish, and I kind of dig that. I really like this match.
I did and I didn't like it at the same time. It was the pacing was a bit weird for me. I started kind of losing interest, and it kind of felt like a squash match. But it wasn't we're gonna squash Lola or we're gonna squash Kalani. No, it's kind of like we're just gonna let them squash each other, and it not really make much sense story wise. Or we're gonna do this thing. I will admit this is a weaker match for me. I love these two. They are great performers. They're great athletes. I felt it was like it wasn't what it could be. This could be a whole lot better. There could have been a whole lot more fun. Yes, playing into the injury. Now, I will say, putting the fingers through the turnbuckle and bending them backwards over the metal, that was genius.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know who thought of that. If that was Kalani, if that was Lola, if that was someone in the back, that was intelligent. It's still, it went from, okay, this is good action, kind of weird, kind of slow, kind of, okay, we're focusing too much on the hand. Focusing too much on the hand. Too much on the hand. Too much on the hand. The guys on commentary weren't even all that better. It was kind of like a blah 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 blah. I love him. I won't deny that Vic is a decent commentator, but I already love Booker. Trust me, he's got my heart when it comes to commentary. But it's seriously I just didn't. I wasn't in it. This isn't the weakest match of the night for me, but it still wasn't like this. We usually set the tone when we're talking about Shorzy. This didn't set the tone for me. Like it set a tone, not the tone, but it did set a tone for me. And then it was yep. A little bit of wrestling. Yep. A little bit of wrestling. Yep.
There was a lot of promo stuff, and I wonder if that has to do with the fact that after last night's episode, we only have 2 more weeks until Vengeance Day.
I think that's what it is. They're trying to I think they're trying to shovel it all in. And that reminds me, I have to. Oh fuck. They mentioned last night Backlash tickets go on sale tomorrow.
Oof.
And it's in Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't. I want to go, but I don't want to go.
And don't.
Don't say that. I had to look at how much it is.
And then we'll decide from there.
Yeah, we'll decide from there. We'll go from there because if it's decently priced, then what I'll do is I'll probably go and I'll try and get as close to the front. And I'll have the NXTilosos. I'm gonna get the freaking Hank and Tank. I'm gonna get one of the Hank and Tank. Actually, I'm gonna get the baseball jersey so I can leave it unbuttoned so you can see the logo. I'm gonna hat too, and you'll just see just be my fucking goofy ass self on a PLE. Finally,
that would be hilarious. But again, Kalani Jordan beats Lola Vice by tapping her out. And we continue on with the show. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of talking that we're going to discuss too. So I try to keep it down to a minimum because there was a lot of talking heads. This is not a talking head, but Joe Hendry jumps Ricky in the parking lot. I was just like, so Ricky is walking into the building, but Joe jumps him in the parking lot, which then leads them both to get to the ring. Joe Hendry calls Ricky out, says, he wants his punk ass out here. Ricky is in the bird's nest, as we call it. They go back and forth where Ricky says that Joe is just a meme and everybody loves him because he is a social media star. Ricky is the star. Joe has no issue of wanting to throw hands with Ricky. Ricky says that, if you want to do something about it, put the title on the line. Joe is like, bet, we're going to do this. And essentially, this back and forth between the two of them sets up the first official match for Vengeance Day, which is Joe Hendry versus Ricky Sane for the NXT Championship. This PL is happening in 2 weeks, and I'm just like, time to dust off the good old peacock.
Sir, sir,
Yes.
did you forget to plug yourself in?
Yes.
Okay. Just making sure
No,
because
I'm
I'm
still
sitting
here.
there. No. I asked if you forgot to plug yourself in
No.
because. Okay. I hope so because I keep losing you, my good sir, and it makes me sad.
No, I'm still here. So, and everything's plugged in.
Okay, you literally went full robot and then quiet, and I'm like, oh crap,
Ah,
did I lose the Mikey? Mikey, did you plug
no.
yourself into the internet this time?
Sure did. Sure did.
Okay, good. All right, moving
It
on.
was just some, yeah. So I'm like, okay, fine, sure. All right, we got this match for Vengeance Day. And apparently, we got a second one too, though I couldn't find some confirmation, and I didn't really see us. I don't remember seeing a segment, but Izzy and Tatum is also scheduled for Vengeance Day too. But once I get the official graphic, then it'll be for real. Moving on. I want to talk about a squash match.
This was okay. This was relatively entertaining, but definitely yes, it was a squash match. It was time for them to show up and show out with our boy and
Mr. D'Angelo and
Yes,
Cutler.
Mr. D'Angelo. What? Okay, sorry, I'm distracted now because I'm trying to look up. Like I was trying to look at the backlash tickets.
Uh-huh.
Um, yeah, backlash tickets for like $750.
Mm-hmm.
Um, $750 for like lower and upper stadium.
Right.
$3,000 for premium up close seating.
Ew. No.
And it gets better. And the front row, not even listed. It says contact us.
Oh, absolutely not. Anyways, so back to NXT. I'm not gonna lie. I took a picture of Tony's new look and sent it to Will, and he's just like, "Well, hello there, Daddy." I'm like, "Damn it, Will."
They never will. Well, the other thing, so the other reason I mentioned the tickets was because I'm trying to look up more info for Vengeance Day.
Now, so let's talk about this. So really quickly, this was a Scotch match. Tony D'Angelo is going to go through the members of Dark State, and I'm like, okay, Tony wins this one, no surprise here. But let's talk about Vengeance Day, right? So according to the reports, it seems that Vengeance Day is going to be held at the PC Center, so which is very interesting. That this PLE is not going to be on the road. Now, I'm thinking that possibly they don't. I don't know what's going on, but I do know they're probably waiting until Stand and Deliver to travel, which is the final PLE of our prediction season because we go Stand and Deliver to Stand and Deliver. So
Mm.
so who knows? I find it interesting that they are not they're not traveling for Vengeance Day this year, but I could be wrong. But according to reports, Vengeance Day is going to be in the PC Center, which is very interesting.
That's interesting to say the least. I know I've already did my sign up for next Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
That's very interesting. If they're gonna do that at the okay, I kind of get it, but are they like? I need to know if they're selling tickets because it's too close to the day to to it's supposed to be what do they say? It's the 7th.
Saturday, March 7th is Vengeance Day, and that's in
That's in
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Are,
There's a lot going on right now because last night we found out Vengeance Day. Earlier this morning, WWE announced Clash in Italy is set for May. So I'm just like, oh
they're doing stuff. I will definitely keep an eye on what I can see. And then what I'll do from there is I will update you. Whatever I hear while I'm at the PC, I will relay. And
be our inside man. Breaking news.
Okay, so I'm not really break the KFAB bubble, but like at the PC, there's one main guy that's kind of like the security, kind of walks around and make sure people are doing what they're supposed to. His name's Jim.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a good picture of Jim because actually I do have a good picture of Jim. Never mind. Moving forward, so Jim walks around with a sign that says Jim 316, and it's the no videography rule,
right?
So which is funny because it only applies to like when everything's kind of going live. So you know what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to. Okay, I have thoughts. I'm going to try and do something like that on next Tuesday if I find out any more info. But yes, let's continue through the squash match, and then what's his face try to show up and beat down Tony, and Tony's like, yeah, nah, bro, bye. And he's like, Dark State, I'm coming, or I am Batman.
This is such a.
That's how I see this.
This is such a weird feud that all of it took us weeks to get here, and I was like, if this is what we were gonna do, we could have saved like 2 months worth of Tony just standing in the crowd, not saying nothing, if we were gonna do this. But whatever, man.
Yeah, if we're gonna do this, we instead of being I'm Batman or I'm Batbane, I am the quiet one.
Lord help us. But Tony, I was gonna say, like I said, Tony wins, and he's gonna go through the rest of Dark State at some point, probably in the next 2 weeks. We're gonna fast track this feud. Anywho, let's keep going.
Moving forward.
I want to listen. I'm looking at this picture, and I'm looking at the Vanity Project boys, and I was like, yeah, I still want to punch your faces.
Oh, I still do. Freaking white boy over there on the right is fucking so orange. I don't know if you were giving any paying attention to last week while we're doing it, but outside of rewatching for clips, but I'm literally when he came out for that match last week, he was when he came out to talk his shit with what's his face at the beginning of the show with Joe Hendry, he wasn't as orange. When he came out later for his match, this dude was sprayed. He was freaking bronzy breaker orange.
I know, man.
Like, I leaned to the person like, is he orange? Like, and they're like, oh my god, yes he is. I'm like, the fuck, is he taking tips from Bronze Breaker? What the fuck?
I don't know, man. But Vanity Project aside, this is a Fatal 4-Way NXT Tag Team Championship #1 contenders match, which of course has the boys of the Vanity Project. You have OTM, The Culling, and then of course the Belly Bandits themselves, Hank and Tank.
Honk, honk. I'm upset with this match
because they didn't win.
I'm upset that Vanity Project won, and not cleanly either.
Well, I figured if they were going to win, it wasn't going to be. It wasn't going to be.
If they're going to be involved, it's.
Well, but okay.
Go ahead.
Here's the thing, right? So I watched WWE Evolve, and of course, that's where Vanity Project was at, and now they are on here. I mean, they're still on Evolve too, but they have officially kind of been called up to NXT, right? So here's the thing. They're supposed to be annoying. I totally understand that. I'm just trying to figure out, because I was just like, oh, we're kind of hot-shotting these boys really quickly. They won the #1 contenders match here, and they're going to be facing Dark State for the titles next week. And I'm like, and then of course we had Jackson Drake fight Joe Hendry last week. And I was just like, these boys are kind of getting hot-shotted real quick. And I was just like, which is cool and everything, but like, I'll even put the Culling in there, which everybody knows. Like, I still hate the name, but I would have rather seen the other three teams win to face Darkseid for the titles than the Vanity Project. And I'm fairly scared that the Vanity Project are actually going to win next week. But outside of the Vanity Project wanting to punch their face, this is actually a pretty solid match. I really did like this. I thought the chaos was a lot of fun. But yeah, Vanity Project winning and kind of being hot shotted to the titles already is kind of crazy to me. When you have these other teams, whether they were former tag champs, always getting close but no cigar, or have been here a lot longer, it's kind of crazy that Vanity Project ended up getting this title chance. But neither here nor there.
I would have been happy if this was a 3-way. I like the live tag where anyone could tag anyone. I'm just surprised no one used it for their advantage and just tagged and found a way to get their partner to tag in against them and then just pin each other. Like, that would make the most sense. But Colleen looks weak in general. Like, I like OTM because they are badass. Like, I thought it was hilarious when the Vanity Boys try to fucking choke slam them. They go slap and just put their hands on their chest and they're like, wait, no. Like, are you fucking stupid? They are 3 times your size. They will break you. They could probably bench press you and then chuck you across the freaking PC over the ropes from the floor. And just my belly bandits, my belly bandit boys. I'm mad. I'm mad for you guys, my guys. You get. It's where I'm at right now. I'm upset because it's like, it's not that it's not that I don't believe that Vanity Project, is bad or doesn't deserve to have a chance like this. I do believe they should have an opportunity. I want them to. I don't like how much. I don't. Because the same thing with Shiloh Hill, which we'll get into when we get to Shiloh Hill. Although I am starting to grow on his personality a little bit. But it's like, ew.
And I know that's how we're supposed to feel about them, but I was just like, if Vanity Project wins next week, I'm gonna be like, okay. We're gonna roll with it. Anyways, so Vanity Project wins. They face Darkseid for the titles next Tuesday. There was such an emotional whiplash with these two the whole entire night. And I'm just sitting here like,
my neck hurts.
Yeah, my neck hurts. It's not fun. So in this segment here, Zarya is upset with Soul and she tells her that she's on her own, basically. And I was just like, well, there it is. Here we go. Which then leads to this moment where, JC cuts a promo. And dare I say, I actually really enjoyed this promo from JC. So, then Soul comes out. JC and Soul go back and forth. JC telling Soul that, in order to get to the top, you're going to have to step on people on the way up there. And you need to and, Soul starting to realize what JC realized a long time ago is that to get to the top and stay at the top, you have to throw away your friendships and your relationships, which Soul counteracts with saying, this is like, me and Zarya are not like that. She's not in my shadow. She's in her own light. I don't have to belittle her or use her to get here. And the next week, Soul is going to snatch JC's soul and become new NXT Women's Champion, which then prompts the 3 Fatal Influence girls to beat up Soul. Zarya comes out looking like she's about to spear Soul with the other 3 holding them down. But then Zarya takes care of the 3 members of Fatal Influence. And then Soul and Zarya hug it out in the ring. And I'm just sitting here. I'm like, that heel turn's probably coming next week, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
I was just
Oh
like,
yeah.
and everyone's
I'm
like,
not gonna like
Saruka
that at
is
all.
fine, you guys. And I was just like, nope, that heel turn is coming. I thought we were going to get the heel turn at Stand and Deliver, but apparently not.
Yep. I can
Now
see it.
the question becomes: is Zarya turns heel on Soul, like with Soul being the new champion, or Soul being, the loser of the match? So we'll see what happens. I don't think the heel turn is happening until after match.
You know,
I hope
I
Soul
agree with
wins.
that. I do too, but like I agree that I think it's going to be a post match turn or a post. I want to say I think if they do the turn, it's going to be a post win.
Hmm. And I'm
Um,
kind of surprised that we're not waiting till Vengeance Day for Soul and JC to have this match. I think that's the
yeah,
crazy thing, because we're having it next week on TV, which I'm not mad at. But I'm like, okay, so if the NXT Women's Championship is not going to be on Vengeance Day, then what else are we getting for Vengeance Day?
you know what
Anyways.
it could be is we could still be getting it per se,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not going to be. Well, it's going to be either Soul versus Zarya or Soul versus, or it could be JC versus Zarya, or it could be. I have a feeling they're keying up Zarya's heel turn,
Mm-hmm.
which will lead to a title reign for her. I'm hoping that's the case because I do want her to have her own title, and I want Soul to have her own title. Now, granted, you can't have two people with on the team with this with like the same rank of title because obviously, um, but I do believe that, or at least I want to believe, I really do, that they're gonna throw some type of wrench in and some type of heel turn into
Mm-hmm.
this.
So we'll find out next week what goes down. We're getting JC and Soul next week. Moving on, though, keeping this going, we get well, okay, I hate this cop out, but we get the finals of our WWE Men's Speed Championship tournament. So, of course, the finals are Eli Knight and Elio LaFleur, of course, abiding by the rules of the speed match, which is 3 minutes. These three throw everything. Not these three. These two throw everything and the kitchen sink at each other. But we ultimately get a no contest as we hit the time limit draw. So we are trying to figure out who's going to go on to face Jasper Troy for the title. And interim GM Robert Stone comes out and says that we need to have a definitive winner. So both of these guys are moving on to the finals. And the championship match for the men's speed title is going to become a triple threat. And Robert Stone is going to have this triple threat, and it's going to be given 7 minutes. So there's going to be a 7-minute time limit for
It's
this
gonna be a
triple threat.
normal fucking match.
I was just like, in what world did we not want one person to lose? I was like, you shot yourself in the foot. If you didn't want either of our new guys to lose, why did you put both of them in the finals? This is stupid. And I'm just sitting here. We're getting a triple threat and something, and I'm like, I know Jasper's gonna win. We're not changing hand. The title's not changing hands next week. God, NXT, what are we doing? On the flip side of things, the women's tournament is happening where Fallon's going to start getting some challengers her way, and we're going to have that tournament be happening soon. And one of the first round matchups is Blake Monroe versus Thea Hale, and I'm just like,
That's what I'm at.
Lord help us. So the match between Eli Knight and Elio LaFleur was fun, but I'm just sitting here and I was just like, why did we do this if we were going to get a triple threat? But whatever. I don't book NXT. That's not my job. I don't get paid to do so. I just sit here for free and talk about the product.
Yeah.
Well, so we get that match again next week. again, the emotional whiplash. Zarya apologizes. I was like, we're gearing up to rip that Band-Aid off possibly next week.
It's gonna be this Band-Aid's gonna be tough. Like I'm gonna be.
We're all gonna
You
be a
know
mess.
what? Here's how I see it. Just off of this image alone, what I'm seeing is Soul wearing her merch, her own merch, right? If the next time we see Soul and she's not wearing like Zarya's merch, then we know a break. I don't think we know. I want to think. I want to assume. I want to like sprinkle this little bit of delusional powder on everyone that if she comes in gear that's for her, that that's a Soul gear, not a Zaruka gear, but a Soul Ruka gear, then the breakup's happening. If there's some hint of like if there's like a Zaruka or if there's a Zarya gear on Soul, then probably we will have a steady relationship. Or they're gonna say, "Fuck you, Kilt. We heard what you said. We're gonna just stab this knife in you and fuck your shit up." And then you're gonna cry like a little bitch at the PC. And you know what? You know what, NXT? You know what, Shawn Michaels and the rest of the freaking creative team?
You probably
Bully
will.
to you. Good job. And you know what? I will cry in the PC. Because, that's a great community. I actually enjoy it.
I know. I don't think I've ever seen you cry, which is crazy. So we'll see if
I don't shed a tear often, but when I do, it's because of
things.
Because of really good storytelling.
Right. So we're teeing up for next week. So this is gonna be crazy. Speaking of next week, we got a whole bunch of matches given to us for next week. So aforementioned already, we get the triple threat for the men's speed championship. Jasper Troy defending the title against Elio LaFleur and Eli Knight. We have the Vanity Project challenging Dark State for the NXT Tag Team Championships. We have Sol Ruka taking on JCJ for the NXT Women's Championship. And then we're also getting a match where I'm probably going to watch Sean Legacy die because Keanu Carver is about to throw this man across the ring.
Hi, JBL. I miss you.
He'd be popping up at all the shows right now. Thank you, JBL. We love you, bestie. Thank you for taking the time. Love me some Kilton Mikey time. We love
again, it. My good friends. Soon again.
Very soon.
Yes, and then then Hugh will come out, and then a little Cajun will return as well.
Hilarious. Well, it's about that time. We're about to head into the final home stretch of it all. So we're about to talk about our main event. But before we do, just to remind all the good folks out at home, just post it in. You can follow us on the social medias by following the link tree. We have our merchandise and all that good stuff. So please feel free to click on those links and check those, explore those out. I'm rewatching Progress and looked down and thought that Saxon Hudsley had lost all his hair and became a super villain. Damn. Oh man, I cannot. But it was Kilt.
Oh, you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I'm not sure if I should be angry or complimented.
Well, you get to tell it. You get a chance to tell him tomorrow when we do Progress. So.
Oh God, I have to watch Progress too.
That's what you're doing tonight. Damn it.
I'll probably be up for a while. So yeah, more than likely.
He loves you too.
Text me more often.
For reals. Y'all have the numbers. All right, Kale, let's get into this main event because main eventing this week's NXT is the NXT North American Championship. This is all ego Ethan Page defending the title against Shiloh Hill. Again, the same thing I apply to Vanity Project is here. We've been really using Shiloh Hill a lot. And don't get me wrong, I really do enjoy Shiloh Hill, but like, damn, man, I was just like, we got other people who've been here longer in the back. Like, what is happening? But anywho, this match was fun for what it was. But again, we run into the same problem we've been talking about forever, Kilt. Who is really left that All Ego Ethan Page can, arguably lose the title to in like an actual like clean
Proper
fashion,
match. Yeah.
like a proper match? Ethan wins this match because Vanity Project are out here running interference and help Ethan win. Here's the crazy part. Ethan, the Vanity Project boys, and Ricky Saints, all 5 of them as a group would be so insufferable.
They already are. That's the problem. Like we see it after this. No, it wasn't after this. It was earlier in the night when Miles Bourne came in to demand a shot, and then he left, and then Ricky Saints comes into the group and is like, that guy was rude. He was really rude. Just slobbing over like it's a fucking circle jerk right now. What the hell? Stop slobbing on each other's knobs and fucking wrestle.
I can't believe we use that analogy, but I mean, anywho, so Kilt has a lot of repression right now. But anywho, yeah, I like Shiloh, but we're using him a lot, man. And All Ego wins here with interference from the Vanity Project boys. Now, after the match, though, Miles Bourne comes in and starts beating up Ethan Page. Shiloh runs interference for Miles by taking Vanity Project and kind of keeping them at bay. Shiloh tosses Miles a chair, and he begins to hit All Ego Ethan Page and beats him up, and then puts the chair around his ankle and basically forces Ethan to give him a championship match for the North American title. And so Ethan does, scared as a chicken shit heel. Then he goes back saying that Miles doesn't have the killer edge, and Miles gets the match, and then he proceeds to stomp on it anyways. I have questions about NXT booking in general. Is Chef Sean drinking some of the cooking wine while he's cooking in the NXT shed? I don't know what's going on. So here's the thing, JVL. We once again find ourselves in that really weird period where a lot of our stars have gone over to the main roster. And so we are now reestablishing and resetting some things right now in terms of where we're going for the remainder of the year. We've also have called up a couple of the WWE Evolve talent to NXT. But it's getting really weird. Like even if we're in a transitioning period and resetting some stuff, the stories have been very hit or miss, mostly miss in the last 2 months. Now, the matches have been really fun, but it's like we're not utilizing some of our people who've been here forever, like Josh Briggs. Like, what are we doing with him? Like,
shit with him.
I was like, what happened with Thea Hale? Like, I know it was an accident. She won the title, but even still, like, she's been off of TV forever. We just got Jada back, like, but we're not doing much with her either.
And they suspended her due to potential injury. Thea's doing a lot of the road shows, though.
She's doing the house shows for sure.
Yeah.
But then on the women's, but then we have a lot of women's talent too. It's just like we're in a really weird. So to answer your question, JVL, I believe Chef Sean is drinking some of the wine while he's cooking because some of these stories are out of control right now. I was like, we're in bizarro worlds and we have to suck it up. It's ridiculous.
The only thing I can really give a caveat is I'm not 100% sure they expected they expected what's her name to quit.
Mm-hmm.
And this is bad because I loved her as a GM and now my brain can't remember the damn name.
Ava,
yeah. I don't think they expected her to quit. I think they actually expected her to renew her contract. But she's no longer with the company, so I think they had to go, oh fuck.
So now we have
figure it out.
So now we have Robert Stone as interim, and I was just like, this is whatever. On-screen characters and behind the scenes is getting out of hand too. So this is weird. But Miles gets a match, and so my money is probably that's another match made for Vengeance Day. So we'll see what we get in the next 2 weeks. But that is it for our NXT post show. Yeah, NXT was very interesting this week. There was some fun stuff, but a lot of talking heads this episode. And we are now in rush mode as we are building to NXT Vengeance Day in 2 weeks. So should be
Oh,
interesting.
one thing I do want to go over,
Mhm.
they're leaning too heavy into this. I'm a rough, freaking rough and tough, rumble tumble, angry black man from the hood of
Oh,
DC with
are
freaking
you referring to
Keon Carver.
Keanu?
Yes, Keon
So
Carver.
here's go ahead.
I, I'm from DC. Granted, I was in Alexandria, I was south of DC, like south of South DC. And yes, DC's a shithole, depending on where you were at. But the situation is like, dude, we don't need that type of fucking person. Or at least that type of personality. It's 2026. We don't need that shit. We don't need the angry black man. I'm going to, do whatever the fuck I want. You all can't handle me, and blah blah blah. It feels gross. It feels forced. It feels like it is a demonstrative for this person who's trying to portray a character.
Mhm.
I don't think this is a great, like, you go back and watch freaking some we seen a couple earlier interviews with Obafemi before he leaned into the accent.
Mhm.
And he was nice, he was sweet, and gentle, and all of that. And then he became the ruler. And you look at him, he doesn't really swear that much. He doesn't. He shows that he is a big dog and he will rip you, but he's not going to do it maliciously. He's not going to do it just because he can. It's more of, you got in the way, not because I put you in the way.
So here's the thing, right? So Keanu Carver, I think, has the potential. I actually like Keanu Carver. I do need a little bit more depth because what we're being presented right now is the struggle life, which is fine, and I'm okay with that. But I'm hoping that we start to see him make progress in terms of character and we get more into it because I was like, I like his in-ring work. I just need a little bit more. But again, it's the same thing because for those of us who either don't watch Evolve or who are starting to, like, this is our real first interaction with like the Vanity Project boys and even like Keanu Carver, Eli Knight, Super Sean Legacy, and to a certain extent too, like when we had, Kendall Gray up here on NXT for a little bit as well. So I love you, Sean Legacy. You about to die next week. You are about to die. But we'll see what happens. But I mean, that's it for NXT. So we still got a bunch of stuff coming up this week. Later on tonight, Will and I will be reviewing CMLL as we, break down the goodbye show for our CMLL talent as most of them are heading over to Japan for a little bit for the Fantastica Mania Japan tour. So this was a send-off show, which was really, really fun. Tomorrow night, you can find myself, maybe Kilt, JBL for sure, and returning Andrew as we break down Progress Chapter 190 in Brightest Day, which is a lot of fun. And then we end the week on Friday as the TNA crew will be breaking down No Surrender. So TNA's second pay-per-view of the year, where if y'all want to see Papa Oso get heated, he will have our Heated Angel of the Week segment as he talks about a certain match, but we will break down everything that went down in Tennessee during No Surrender. That's going to be it for us here tonight. So, for myself and Kilts and the rest of the BC WrestlePod family, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, stay biconic, and more importantly than anything, you always deserve to finish your story. I'll see you later tonight at 8 p.m. Pacific with Papa Oso to review CMLL. But until then, sayonara, adios, and until next time, peace.